Good morning. It's a Friday, and it is the 18th day of May 2018. I say welcome. Sorry, your regular host, Yori, cannot be here. He's unavoidably absent, so he's a little under the weather. We wish him well. Okay, then, let's keep talking our Nigeria, our Nigeria. And today we are coming to terms with APC's internal wranglings. Yes, the All Progressives Congress, APC, may be an amalgam of four political parties. Yes, it may appear to be bedfellows with different ideologies. But no, it is not a rule of the thumb that the differences which are man-made cannot be harnessed for the common good. It becomes more bemusing that in the build-up to a 2019 general elections, which is it desires to win, the APC can afford internal wranglings, and these wranglings cannot be tamed. Let's meet and greet my guests this morning. The one is Honorable Segun Olulade. He's a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, representing Ekpe constituency too. I greet you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Good morning.
So we are dealing here with a professional politician. I greet you one more time.
Thank you.
Adewale Adeoye is by training a journalist, but he also is the executive director, journalist for democratic rights. So the journalist must be interested in politics as well, because he reports it. Let's start with you. As a reporter, and are you better able to understand the internal wranglings of the APC at a time like this?
Well, for many of us, the internal crisis is predictable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because...
You saw it coming?
Sure.
But you couldn't prevent them?
Yeah. If you look at the historical circumstances that brought the APC to power, a lot of interest, came together under one coalition, not necessarily driven by ideology. We had the CPC, we had the ANPP, we had a faction of the PDP, then we had the ACN, and of course, a faction of ABGA. And the main motive at that period, in 2014, was to drive away, President Goodluck Jonathan. And of course...
And wrest power.
Wrest power. And of course, we also have some elements driven by ego, personal differences with Jonathan, and they wanted to even scores with him. So this amalgamation of various interests came to power, and they needed an iconic figure that could evoke public appeal. And that was why they brought in, Muhammad Buhari. Not probably because they believe in his own integrity or his own personal history, but just because they wanted somebody who could rally around Nigerians and, of course, delude them, create a kind of euphoria that could be used as a pawn on the political chess game to win that election. So, and as soon as they came to power, the scramble for viable institutions began. A faction wanted to take over the Senate, the House of Representatives, and that fell in the hands of the reactionary forces. And having taken that structure, they had a dominion which they wanted to use to checkmate the president. So it's so clear that what is going on, for anybody who understands the history of Nigeria, it's not a strange thing. We expected it to happen.
Honorable, the thrill is gone. So politics does not end on the day of inauguration.
No.
We saw when President Buhari was inaugurated, he represented the APC, and that change we talked about. 3 years plus, going to 4, the APC is wrangling, feuding. He said they saw it coming, but couldn't prevent it.
Yeah, it is expected that we have internal wrangling, but we must also have a mechanism in place that would deal with such wrangling, and that's what we have in our party. Considering the way we came together, like he said, it is important that, there's always this saying that it's permanent interest. There's no permanent enemy in politics. So what we have now are expected because we have personal interests coming up, we have ambitions coming up, we have people who are in one office who are struggling to retain and sustain their domain and all sort of things.
For instance, you want to retain your seat at the House?
No.
Okay. So if you are voted out, you'll stay out?
Yeah, that is
without
that's the beauty of democracy. Okay. The people must have a choice. People should be able to say, this is what I want. And that's the beauty of democracy. So for me, I aim higher, and it's understandable in politics. So that should not translate to something that we cannot manage as a political party.
Yeah, because the country must be made safe for democracy.
Democracy. That is very, very key. And that is what we as a party, and that is what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the leader of the party, the Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, is trying to do with having Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to head a reconciliation committee to bring back everybody onto the table to discuss. And that has been ongoing now.
Wale, at a time like this, you cannot but, remove old stones and go back in history, because a little history will help us. In the Second Republic, let's talk about the defunct NPN.
Yeah.
Nobody knew so much about the influence of President Shagari as we knew about the chairman, AMA Akinloye.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, at what point did chairmen of parties at national and state levels lose power to governors and the president?
Yeah, I think it's a very unfortunate thing, because in the First and Second Republics, you realize that the parties were owned by the people. I still have membership card of my mother, who was a member of the UPN. And then you paid some little money, no matter how small. So there is a kind of sense of ownership, But you have a situation whereby political parties have been taken over by money bags who dictate, the terms, the conditions for everyone. So members of political parties don't actually invest in that party any longer. It is the investment is being done by very few people who put in their money, put in their resources, and of course, at the end of the day, they will be the one to dictate the terms and conditions of governance. So I think we lost it, in the days of UPN, for instance, and that system really helped, because there was a lot of party discipline. Before the party will come up with a position, the party caucuses will have debated it. So when they are going to the National Assembly, they will probably going to take one position. So you never find the UPN, the minority leader or the majority leader speaking, from different sides of the mouth, or the governor of Ogun State and Ondo State speaking from different parts of the mouth.
Or so Chief Awolowo, bless his soul.
Yeah.
Remaining the behemoth.
Yeah.
The be all and end all.
Yeah. So there was party discipline, in spite of all the weaknesses of those parties at that time. There was party discipline. Even Shagari, despite all his way at that time, could not actually impose his way on the NPN. Issues had to be debated through a lot of caucuses, through programs, through committees, through institutions, so that when they come into the National Assembly, positions are taken, and then this is the position of the party. But in this case, we have a lot of contradictions whereby, the parties have been taken over by few individuals whose opinions dominate, the party.
Wale, at this point, the man who is in the thick of things, and it's not both of us versus him.
Sure.
He's an active politician. How did that come to be?
Well, I would want to agree with him in some aspect of it, and even then there were issues of somebody being the chairman of the party and at the same time being the head of government of the same party. So we have issues then, but
like Chief
Obafemi Awolowo.
He was the presidential candidate of the party. And was he the chairman of the party?
Yes, he was the leader of the party.
No. There are two different things. He was not the chairman of UPN.
Yes, it was not the chairman of the party. It was the leader of the party.
Okay.
And that is understandable. And that is what we're still practicing to today. We have a leader.
Can you cross your heart?
Yeah,
that's what we are still practicing today?
Yes, we have a leader who is the president.
All right. This is a quick test.
Yeah.
In Lagos State,
yes,
who is the leader, who is the chairman of the APC?
We have, as we speak now, is Otoba Erio Ajomale.
Ajomale.
Yeah.
Is he the leader of the party in Lagos or the governor?
The leader of the party, we have the chairman of the party is the man at the top of the party in
don't
Lagos
forget
State.
we are drawing parallels.
But we have leaders.
Let me defer to you.
Yeah.
Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu is
the
national leader.
Yeah.
He's not the national chairman of the party.
Yes.
So at the national level, APC Chief Odige John Oyegun, until he's voted out or he retains the seat,
Tomorrow.
remains the chairman, but he's not the leader of the party.
He's also a leader of the party. You can't take the chairman out and say he's not the leader of the party. Because if we have a chairman, he's the chairman of the party. But that does not make you, because you are the chairman of a party, does not make you to be the leader, the overall leader of the party. And that is why we say at the helm of affair in our party today, the number one person is President Muhammadu Buhari, by virtue of his position.
President Commander-in-Chief.
Chief.
Yeah,
So
national leader. But you have the national chairman.
Yes.
Don't forget, we're talking about two ages.
Yeah.
The Second
Yeah.
Republic.
Yes. The second.
So how did it get to change?
No, times we cannot be static. I don't, all over the world, you don't believe that what is obtainable in the 80s should still be what is obtainable.
Oh, it's not about being fixated, Honorable Olulade, but we are saying in the Second Republic, which is ancient to you, these internal wranglings, which is what we are discussing today, were tamed. We tamed them. What happened? Hold on.
I disagree with you. Even in the First Republic, we have the likes of Akitola disagreeing with the party leader then, which happened to be Ashifo Obafemi Awolowo. So there is always internal wrangling.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yes, there is always internal wrangling because that's the beauty of democracy.
They were manageable. That's what we are saying.
Yes, we are this also is manageable. I've not seen anything
as you did in Ekiti State. Recently, you managed Ekiti State?
Yes, Ekiti State is managed now. You can see even the likes of Ojudu saying, okay, I'm no more interested in it. And even those who went for the final primary, they all conceded to the overall winner, which is Fayemi. So it's understandable. When we are struggling to get a particular seat, there are genuine reasons for us to have disagreements. Okay. So once we have that disagreement, and that is why I was talking earlier about the internal mechanism that is in place. And that is what we saw in Ekiti, for instance. And that's why we can have a candidate in Ekiti, and everybody is now running around him. You can see that even
after the war.
Yes, it's understandable. After the war, we come back and still dialogue. Okay. So dialogue.
Share the spoils.
Yeah, well.
Wale,
I'm not saying that.
No, we are not quarreling. You know, the man on the street is interested in if the APC. Let's take Ekiti State as a metaphor for this giant leap into the future. If in Ekiti State, the APC hopes to dislodge the PDP. Yeah. It cannot afford these wranglings. That's the point I was making.
There was also wrangling in PDP.
No. Talk about your own.
No.
Don't mix it.
No. There's a wrangling going on in PDP.
So what's your business with PDP? I'm talking about APC.
We are able to, manage our own wrangling. And that is why you can see that the Sheguni can congratulate and everybody can congratulate. Nobody is saying they want to leave the party. In PDP, the next man, the runners up.
Are you a PDP member?
Adeyeye left the party.
Are you a PDP member?
I am not a PDP member.
It is not your business. Let's talk about APC.
Yeah, the APC, I have told you, in APC, we have an internal mechanism in managing our internal wranglings, and we've been able to handle that.
We agree,
in Ekiti.
Especially because these problems are man-made. But while we are saying these problems are avoidable. You said in your opening salvo, we saw this wahala coming but we couldn't weather it.
Yeah. Well, I think, in terms of the conflict in the political parties, it's correct to say that, in the 60s and 80s, we had, internal contradictions, but the form and content, are different. In the 60s, for instance, the basic disagreement between Akintola and Awolowo were purely ideological, because Awo wanted social-democratic Southwest, talking about, socialism, while the other group, basically disagreed.
Akintola, for instance, said, Chief, let us open our flanks.
Yes, and then there was also disagreement on what should be the form of realignment, with the Northern People's Congress. Akintola wanted the party probably to dissolve into the MPC, but Awo wanted a kind of tactical alliance. And I think we can see that in what is going on now. In 2014, the ACN had a strategic alliance with the North. But the first thing they did was to dissolve the ACN into the APC. Yeah. And for me, I think that was wrong. I felt it should have been better for the ACN to maintain a stronghold and then enter into tactical alliance, with any of the parties, preferably the CPC. And then probably so that it will be easy.
There are two things here. You have an alliance, you have a merger.
Yes.
So we are talking about a merger here.
That dissolve the party.
Yeah.
And then if you are not careful, you find it difficult even to control your region. Because after this dissolution, we now find a situation where the first point of attack was even to open up, to single out Asiwaju and his group, which happens to be the only liberal democratic arm of the APC. It is the group that is talking about restructuring. It is this group that is talking about state police. It is the group that has a kind of semblance, to show that it understands some of the political and economic problems facing the country. What did the government do? The first thing they did was to sideline that group for 3 years. But because the election is coming up now.
In your estimation?
Yeah, of course, that was exactly what happened. Okay. And of course, they are even...
I'm getting educated.
Yeah, they are even actually struggling to take over the dominion, of the Southwest, to scramble, with that kind of group, which I don't think it is fair. So I think probably they want Asiwaju now because the election is coming again. But we need to be very careful because once they get to the top, the first thing they always do is to take away the ladder and to destroy, the same ladder that brought them up. So we need to be very careful to understand that.
But they keep the carpenters.
Yeah.
Who build the ladders.
Sometimes they don't even keep them. They look for other carpenters. So I think the crisis at the national level in the APC is different from what is happening in the state. Yeah. The one at the national level is very difficult to manage because I see a very desperate group represented by Sharaki and his a new PDP who have given ultimatum already, and I don't think the differences are something that you can actually reconcile, because this group is known from its days in the MPN. That is the most reactionary and, if you like the word, fastest faction. So they came into the APC just because they wanted to get out, to get to power. And having assumed that leadership now, they are trying to ensure that they don't allow Buhari to come back in the next year. They are not offering us an alternative. Okay. I would have preferred a better political organization with better programs that will resolve the crisis, the killings, and the economic. But they don't have a better program. All they are talking about is that we want power. So if we are stagnant, I don't think the solution is to go backward.
Honorable Olulade, so contrary to the grain of logic, in Nigeria, power is the end itself, not a means.
No, power is not the end.
No, but I'm saying from he has just spoken.
He has spoken very well. I want to say this, that for us, like you have said, we have several groups, several people coming together interests coming together to form an alliance and or coalition or a merger and accumulating into APC. But today, what we have is that we, in our own area, from our own interest group, which is the ACN merging to become APC today, we are a progressive party, and we still remain so. So, if anybody...
Aren't you worried about The progressives in Nigeria after how many years?
Yeah, I'm worried. Everybody should be worried about what is going on now. But
The progressives in Nigeria.
Yes, we are worried. Everybody should be worried. And like I said, and he has also said something, there is no alternative to what we have in place, except we decided to go backward, and God forbid. So if we don't want to go backward, all we should now do is to rally around President Muhammadu Buhari and ensure at least for once we see a man of integrity leading this country.
Not solely for the sake of retaining power or winning second term.
No, not for the sake of Nigerians, for the sake of making tremendous impact in the lives of Nigerians in terms of growth, in terms of development, in terms of infrastructural renewal, in terms of reduction in poverty level and all sort of things. So we even the economy. So we have somebody who cannot be considered to be a thief or to be stealing our funds. So we have somebody who is prudent, somebody who wants the best for this country. So why not rally around such an individual?
If only the members of his team behaved like him.
Yeah, and that is one area that I believe that he's going to work on by the grace of God after 2019 when he becomes the next president in 2019.
Don't preempt the election, please.
No. I know Nigerians.
But quickly, let's talk about success management in politics. I mentioned it in passing at the beginning.
Yeah.
Success management in politics is intricate. For one, you have do's and don'ts. Some of the do's: don't choke. Do not be complacent. Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
They are key.
Yeah.
Is the APC ready for all this?
Yeah, we are ready. We are ready. We are learning. We've not been in the.
Wale does not believe you.
We've not been in the in that office. Some people have occupied the office for 16 years. We just came in the last 3 years, and we've been doing a lot to correct those mistakes.
You want me to juggle your mathematics? The Senate president was governor for 8 years.
You are talking about an individual.
Hold on.
We're talking about a political party.
I am talking about the number 3 man in the country.
Yeah, we are talking about an individual who is number 3 man in the country.
Yeah.
I am talking about a political party.
And I am talking about I am talking about a political party, and you know this mathematics. At the Senate, you have 60 senators and 49 senators in opposition. That should put you at a vantage position.
Unfortunately, we started on a wrong footing, and that's one of the areas that I believe in 2019 we are going to correct.
Wale, we must not let him take us back. So we're looking ahead, understanding the wranglings in the APC, and picking out the pieces is very key at a time like this in the build-up to the election.
Yeah, for me, I think the group, led by the leadership of the National Assembly that is opposed to the presidency, the group appears desperate.
Seemingly opposed.
Yes. I think there are two things, two options I can see that the group is trying to explore. Either to stay within the party and wreak havoc within the party, or to stay outside and begin to throw stones into the party. The signals are so clear. And I think what I expect the APC to do is to take the battle to the people. And the way you can take the battle to the people is to,
the people who are not joiners.
Yes.
They are not joiners, as you said. You said you still keep a copy of your mom's membership card of the UPN.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see the card.
Sure. So we had some of them on WhatsApp group being circulated.
Your mom was a joiner, was a stakeholder.
Yeah.
But you are talking about the people who are not stakeholders here.
There are ways the party in power can still inspire the people through its economic and political programs. The day is running out. We spent 3 years. They spent 16 years and, of course, ruined the country. But then 2 years, 1 year is enough to inspire the populace.
That's it.
You know, just 1 year.
I'm glad you are following up
We have-
with that. Yeah.
we have to
depend on
because
it depends on the mess.
And come on,
depends on the mess.
Honorable Olulade, don't dwell on the past.
If we
I
don't
agree.
dwell on the past,
agree.
we can't know how
No,
to
hold on.
forge ahead.
But if you sleep on that bed, you won't wake up. Oh.
We are alive. We are alive to reality, and we are doing what is expected of us to do. We are moving the
Because
country
you keep
forward.
talking about 16 years.
Yes.
Yes.
We can't stop talking about those 16 years because those 16 years brought us to where we are today.
If he's talking of
And-
the-
So
and-
what efforts are we making
Yeah.
to go out of that
Yes,
mess?
and that is one thing.
With these wranglings,
Yes, that's one thing we must understand.
no, sorry. The PDP is responsible for the wranglings in the APC.
We are not talking about PDP being responsible for the wranglings, but you must also understand and agree with us that when we came together, we all agree that there is a mess and we must clear the mess. And that was the reason why even everybody that can...
Are you clearing
we
the
are
mess?
clearing. It's not going to be a tea party. It's not going to be a day job. We're clearing the mess, but we will do it gradually. We can go slow, but we must be steady in what we are doing. And that's what we are doing with the mess they've created for us in this country. So you cannot just say that we should just come. We are not magicians. We should be able to look at it critically and see how we are going to address it. And in addressing it, we must not do just a shabby job. We must go deeply in addressing those issues.
Politics does not put food on the table of the man on the street who you are fighting for.
Politics does. Politics does.
No, there's too much politics in this country.
No, politics does, because if we don't have people, the right people in offices, that if you continue to have wrong people there, it will affect the economy of every man on the street. And that is why we need the right people to be in the right offices that are in government. So, and that is what politics will do for us. And that is why everybody must be involved. We have only 30% of, maximum 30% of the people, of Nigerians involving in politics. And that is wrong. And that's why some of us are saying, get your PVC, get involved in politics. Don't just allow anybody to just continue to rule you. You must take your destiny into your hand.
Honorable, our collective experience tells me and you that the problem had always not been with voting. It had always been with counting the votes. Now, Wale, let's go back to talking about the bad apples in the bunch.
Well, I think, yeah, there are good apples. And probably when my friend is talking, maybe it's...
Okay, don't use apples, one bad egg.
Yeah. Well, I think probably he's trying to substitute the consciousness of Lagos for the consciousness of the country. Lagos remains a reference point in so many areas. So, of course, we can give kudos to the APC in the state. And of course, some other APC states, like even Osun, you look at the schools. I mean, those are millennium projects that will be there forever, of European standards and all that. But when we are talking about the federal government, take the past 3 years, going to 4 years, just give me one reference point you can cite in the entire Southwest, where you have 40 million voters. The Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is, the Apapa, the highway from Apapa to the main land is still, in a very desolate situation. So after almost 4 years, there is nothing you can point to that this is a legacy of the federal government. And that's why we are saying that it's not going to be very easy, for the federal government to come again and say, look, we want you to come and support President Buhari. They need to do more in able to be able to sustain, the confidence of the people. People are dying. People are suffering. Go to the streets. People are becoming poorer. Life is becoming increasingly meaningless, just like a cockroach on the sidewalk. There are too many killings. So we need to, like I've said, PDP is not, in fact, they don't have a roadmap on security. They don't have a roadmap on the economy.
You better not talk about, don't dissipate energy on discussing the opposition.
Yeah.
Talk about you. All right, then, we'll take this break. We'll go on the break, but then we have to come to terms with the political winds blowing in the country at the moment. It's very, very key. Let's go on the break and come back. Okay, then, if you have not missed it, coming to terms with APC's internal wranglings, and my two guests are APCers, you know. Honorable Segun Olulade is a member of the Lagos State Assembly, and of course, Adewale Adeoye is a journalist, and of course, Executive Director, journalist, for democratic rights. Let's talk about journalists and reporting politics and politicians in this country.
Well, we have the responsibility to set agenda.
No. Appreciate what journalists have been doing in the last 3 years.
Well, I think we have performed creditably well, though there are still so many rooms that we need to improve, because we are also not isolated from
we talk about partisanship and all that.
Yeah, it happens, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why the future of this country, in part, depends on an objective, you know, journalists can get
Is
to
it
be.
possible to be non-partisan in reporting?
Yeah, it's quite possible, because we have seen that in the past, you know, where journalists stood by what they believed in, stood on the side of the people. It happened during the years of military repression, where even many journalists were killed because they were standing on the part of the people. They refused to be bought. And I think it still happens today, that there are a lot of credible forum, you know, that people express their views, you know, people speak the truth to power. And of course, that's exactly what we are doing here. You see people come here all the time to speak, and you allow them to speak their mind. So I think it's quite possible for media practitioners to be objective.
All right, then. We are joined now by a viewer from Delta State. Samson is here. Welcome, sir.
Good morning.
I greet you, sir.
Yeah. Good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning.
In the studio.
Good morning.
Sir, let me try. I've been looking for these mediums, like correct the impression of the APC, because that's the only place they can get it right. When I forgot this is the book, but he's only talking about procrastination, and everybody knows that procrastination is the thief of time. When you keep blaming the opposition, that you are here to come and clear the mess, that's why you didn't achieve anything. But Tinubu was there. he took it from the military. I didn't argue, didn't complain about the military that it was military that bastardized Lagos. He lifted it up from there and he changed it. Another good example, come and check Anambra. They have tested PDP, ADC, and now they're using APGA. Anambra have talked to something exceptional. So when you keep on doing, you cannot keep, let me tell you, if you don't know, APC is still 60% of all those guys in the house are still from the PDP. So continue with the mess. So you just 16 years plus another 3 years, and then coming back again in 2019. So when are you going to stop the mess? But the only thing is that I'll try to do internal control and know how we're going to move forward. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Samson.
Yeah.
Yesterday, gentlemen, I had cause to drop this. You know, I hope it makes sense here, because yesterday we broached the subject of the Senate President feuding with the Inspector General, and I said something like, "If your parents were quarreling, I don't know about you. I never knew for one day my father and mother quarreled. So the children must not get to know this." So stretching the logic, if we have wranglings within the APC approaching an election year, it should not affect governance. It should not.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Honorable, it should not.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It shouldn't affect governance. And there's one thing I want us to know in this country. We must separate politics from governance. Politics will come during the process of electioneering. Once you are being elected and you are being sworn in, you drop your politics behind and you move on with governance. And I think that is what Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari has been able to do with us in Nigeria. He's been able to drop politics and face governance. And you can also say of the same thing in Lagos State. So we have a focus, and we would continue to.
We'll come to it, but let me take a caller here. You know, we'll talk about the 16 years and blah, 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 and what Samson just said. Reverend Dominic is here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Citizen Jones.
I greet you.
Good morning, you are guests in the house.
Good morning, Reverend Dominic.
To be sincere, Citizen Jones, to be sincere to the honorable member of State House of Assembly there, we have blamed PDP enough. You know, I was part of this civil society that worked for APC because of Buhari. We have blamed PDP enough. Let me say this, outside the economy, outside the politics, what we thought that APC would bring to the table is attitudinal change, attitude change. But then what happened in the Ideology worries me. Citizen Jones, I don't know how it worries you. One of the journalists that work with us sent me a report that the police, the army, the security agents that in Ekiti that day outnumbered the delegates. If you count them, they are more than the delegates. How could we do a primary election and we bring army, we bring police, we bring, don't you worry anybody. This would be a civil contest, a primary contest in a party. See, we're involving army. This is what we think that APC could have done. Change of attitude. But the attitude has not changed, and the politics have not changed, the economy has not changed.
Reverend Dominic, if I intercourse with you a little.
Yes.
Who just said it, that the APC has sprinklings of PDP members who are causing wahala. It does not cut an ice with you?
Yes, it do. It's what I call the mixed multitude. I'm a pastor. The problems in Israel, when they were going from Egypt to Israel, were this, what we call the mixed multitude, the PDP. But the core of the progressives have not done better. From the beginning, they want to know that this PDP will cause trouble. They could have handled the National Assembly well. They got the foundation wrong. My Bible says the foundation is wrong. What will the righteous do? The foundation of the policy of APC, was wrong in National Assembly, and today it's dragging everybody. What I'm trying to say, they have not changed the attitude. They, who are the progressives, have not changed the attitude. We don't think that will be a magic. Nobody thought that would be a magic in Nigeria.
Thank
but
you.
We thought that we would do things differently.
Or a miracle, as you people say. Thank you, Reverend Dominic.
Well,
Yes, so
well,
how do you rework the foundation?
Yes, and that is what has kept us where we are today. The foundation was faulty, no doubt about that. We must be able to be frank with ourselves on that issue. And that is why some of us believe that we will do the needful by the grace of God come 2019.
And hard work, not just grace of God.
Yes, the grace of work and hard
God's
work.
grace is more than enough. Wale
Yes.
will say yes.
Yes.
But we have been messing God up.
Yeah. So for me, I think we just need to get it right this time around. And it's not about our party as a political party. I think it has to do with every Nigerian. It has to do with us coming out at the next election, identifying individuals that we believe could deliver for us at the National Assembly, at the State House of Assembly, even at the state level. Whatsoever we want for our state, for our country, we must determine that through the ballot. That some people are introducing violence, and like what happened in Ekiti, and the federal government.
Interestingly, the PDP in Ekiti had its primary wahala no day. Let me go
because
to...
they are not that strong in the party. You can see how many people are contesting in APC. We have 33, we have 2. So when you are having 2 people or 3 people struggling it out in PDP, you should understand.
I'm wondering how you would have reported this story. But anyway, you are not a reporter. In Ondo State, Shola is here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I greet you.
Yeah, you are welcome, sir.
Yeah.
I believe the situation in the country presently is not a one-man problem. It's a collective one.
That's it.
And since if you go into the street, you see the way masses are suffering, you know that this government, the way I will rate them, I cannot just give them the low standard. I would call it 49%. So it's the right time for every one of us to rise up to this. Let everyone go after his voter's card and have a good Nigeria back.
It is possible. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
It is possible to get the Nigeria of our dreams back.
Yeah.
It's quite possible because no matter the weaknesses of democracy, it's still better than the best of military rule.
But why have you heard this, that in politics, stupidity is not a handicap? Some of the things you see are not happenstances. They were planned to come out that way.
Yeah.
You don't believe that?
Well, like you said, stupidity is not
a handicap.
Yeah,
in politics.
It's not.
Yeah.
Because politics is an extension of war. And when you are going to war, you need an intelligent man. You need a wise man. You also need a foolish man. That probably you ask him to go and step on mines to know whether there are mines planted in certain places. In fact, you need a madman who can kill without remorse. So, and in politics, the vote of a professor is not different from the vote of a social worker. Of a sex worker.
Or a shoemaker.
Or a shoemaker. So it's of the same value. So, and that's why you see that they find it difficult to tolerate, each other, irrespective of. But I think there should be a line. There must be a kind of standard, that politicians must be able to imbibe. And that's why I agree with the last speaker that we need some level of stability. Look at what has been going on in Lagos State since 1999. The programs is a continuum. Yeah. If we have had a kind of crisis and all that, maybe the BRT, when Fasholake will have cancelled it.
Yeah.
Look at what we are talking about, creation of wealth. That wouldn't have been possible if...
I have a viewer here. Yeah. Super is here. Super Friday to you. Welcome.
Good morning, Citizen Jones.
I greet you, sir.
I want to appreciate my able gentleman on the studio.
Good morning.
Citizen Jones, how long are we going to be blaming the APC? The PDP?
We have gone past that, Super. Let's go. We've gone past that. Yeah.
It's a mistake when we keep blaming and blaming. If you ask the ordinary man on the street,
But Super,
How
let
years ago
me
and now?
Super, let me tease you a little. I hope you allow this. But you agree that there was damage.
Senator, I accept there was damage, but you know,
Thank you.
Obasanjo campaigned for debt relief, which we got. President Yahya Adua, his blessed memory, brought back the fuel price. Senator, I remember in Ojota was flooded with fuel. Is supposed to be 45 naira. Dollar is supposed to be 1 naira. What do we have today? We need food on the common man's table. Go and see how people are complaining bitterly. Let us accept our fault. That look, it look like when I'm a strong, campaign for PMB. I have a respect for him because I campaigned for him. Seriously, I campaigned for him. We wanted change. But if we want to start keep putting on blames, let's blame from maybe from Jonathan time. I'm sorry to mention his name, but not from Obasanjo or President Yar'Adua. They said, oh, we're going to do fuel $45. What are we having today? Let's stop the blame game and keep the ball running. Thank you very much.
Let's even stretch the logic there expressed by Super. If our electricity supply system was in order, I expect somebody to tell me that Buhari inherited a 15,000 megawatt electricity supply level, but he has brought it down to 5. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. We have 4 refineries. We are still importing. It's a great damage. But then, as he said, let's spend a lot less energy on blaming the past. But let's quickly take Yakub in Dokbemu. Yakub, welcome. Yakub, good morning. Okay. Yeah, so the blame game.
No, we need to stop blame storming. What we need now is brainstorming, to address the challenges facing the people. And for me, if I'm in a position to advise the government, it is time to rejig your cabinet. There are so many people there that are engrossed in politicking and they have less time for governance. So if the APC is really going to make much impact in the Southwest, probably it's going to be due to some of the achievements you see in the APC states, like Lagos, for instance, where creation of wealth has been taken as one of the kernel principles of achievements. Look at the trust fund that Lagos state government is running, where thousands of people are being given loans going to 5 million, 4 million, and
APC members.
And I know ordinary people who have access to that loan, and by getting that
who are
loan,
not APC.
Yes, ordinary people. Okay. I monitor this very well.
Let me take Ogundele is here in Lagos. Welcome, sir. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, I win business. Welcome.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Mr. Ogundele from Keshi.
All right, then.
Sorry, I see no reason why we are not going to mention PDP. Because 15 years of growth in Nigeria, we have to get back to that. So you can't just, for example, now, you want to build a house now. Can you do that within a day? It's not done anywhere. So we have to bring PDP from Obasanjo regime to Jonathan. So let's allow Buhari to do his work so that how much they recovered from all these analytics. And allow Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to organize this party very well. Thanks so much.
All right. Yeah. So.
Yeah. If I must come in, I like what he just mentioned concerning the wealth creation program we have in Lagos, and talking about continuity from Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Raji Fashola to Akinwumi Ambode today. We are seeing sustainability, we're seeing development.
Tell me
and
here
that
and
is the
now
same thing
that these loans are granted to non-APC affiliates or
we have, in fact, let me tell you something. The very first day they gave out this loan at Blue Roof in Let TV, I was there. And I saw there was serious protests from people that are saying that majority of the people that got the loans are Igbos, because they did it without any sentiment, because Igbos were able to fill the form, and push out their programs, and they were given the loan. So it's
call
not
them Ndigbo.
Indigbo, yeah. Sorry.
All right. We have Gerald here. Gerald, how do you do? Welcome.
How do you do, Mr. Jones? My regards to your guest in the studio.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Jones, Nigerians, I don't understand. I think, we just carry one thing and run with it. I'm tired of hearing that there is blame game. What do you mean by blame game? Please, does anybody have any evidence that President Buhari, what he does is he wakes up on Monday morning, he sits down, enters the blame game room, and he's not clearly work and he's blaming people. But please, when you suddenly, even though some people say they voted this president, I was one of those that voted him in, if you have some unrealistic expectations, and all of a sudden you say, change the power infrastructure overnight, but there will be no power outage, I will say, sorry, please, what we inherited was bad. Because this messed it up, this is where we are. If you call it blame game, sorry, this blame game has to continue forever. And we have nothing to progress this, and you expel Donald overnight. Let me end with this instance. Security crisis, right?
Yeah.
Everybody is being killed.
Yeah.
We cannot contain hate men, right? Yes, our borders have been porous forever. And you expect Nigerian army, limited as they are, in terms of equipment, their money sold into fund zero, to fill individual pockets, not equipment. And we say, look, our institute, we are doing our best. This army was underfunded and messed up by the previous administration.
Thank you, Gerald.
So we have blame for the rest of your life.
Thank you. So,
Thank you, Gerard.
So the blame game is not likely to go away. But let me tease you a little. I hope we remember that this refuse dump at Olusosun, in the Bola Tinubu first term, Enron was here to
capture,
to utilize that place and generate electricity. He was wrestled to the floor. And today, that place is oozing gas every now and again, and you are having fire and all that. It's not a blame game, but I'm saying electricity generation, if we got it right. Gentlemen, without apologies, the APC wouldn't have come to power, because giving us electricity so many companies wouldn't have left this country. We must rub that in.
Thank you for rubbing it in now, because
I'm giving you a fact.
I want you to rub it in more than what you are doing now, because it's about the past. But we cannot just forget the past, like I've said earlier. Look, we're talking about continuity in Lagos. We are seeing development in Lagos. We can see tangible things that have been done by the government of Lagos, the same APC government. And because we have never had some rotten or mess to clear in Lagos State, that is why we are having it good. Now, somebody came in less than 4 years. We want him to clear all the mess in 16 years that have been done. And you say we should forget about it. The more he start to work, he will still encounter some mess, and he will have to talk about the mess. So we cannot stop talking about the mess. So that is the issue. But most importantly, and like I said, Muhammadu Buhari administration is focused, and we're determined as a government to give dividend of democracy.
Have you heard this crazy phrase? You are Yoruba guys. Sukumus Renomus.
Yes.
As man they cry, now so they see road.
Yes.
So cry a lot less about the damage. The damage is appreciated, but then we must work. Let me reach out to Ajayi. He's waiting patiently in Kwara State. Welcome, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, Ajayi, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Welcome. Let's go.
Yes,
Your line is muffled. I don't know. Please try again. Try again. Yeah, Wale. So it's we have gotten to this stage. APC, go on with this work. Do a lot less of blaming the past. do what you can do. So let's talk about the wranglings in the party. Doing what you want to do means that the wranglings must get to a tolerable level.
Yes.
You know.
The wrangling seems to be assuming a life of its own, and it may now take the time and energy of the government, and
you are closing your thoughts quickly.
Okay, divert the focus of the government from governance, because once there's a lot of conflict going on, there's no way the government can settle down to address the fundamental problems. Well, in terms of blaming people, if we want to start blaming the past, the military ruled for 27 years. There will have been no excuse for us. We just come in 1999 and then start talking about what has happened in 27 years. We need a new inspiration from the leadership. We need, we need hope. We need to be, and there are fresh problems that are not caused by the government of the past, or fresh problems, or old problems that have taken fresh dimensions, like the Benue crisis, like the cleansing. These are fresh dimensions to the crisis. So the government must rise up to this challenge and realize that it's a problem that must be tackled once and for all.
Honorable, how do you close?
Well, for me, I believe we've been able to tame our internal wrangling, and we'll continue to do so. We'll continue to sustain it with the leadership of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, try to reconcile those who are having differences or disagreements. I believe by the end of the day, everybody will laugh, and Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari would deliver as he has promised.
Okay, then, we'll leave it there, but let me thank Adewale Adeoye for coming. Many thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Wish you well. Honorable Segun Olulade, you are going for a second term.
I'm going for House of Representatives at Abuja.
Okay, you are chopping up.
Yeah, I've done my second time at the Lagos State House of Assembly. So
okay,
it's time for me to move up and represent my people from Ekwe. Thank you.
If the people say yes, wish you well.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, then, we must draw the program to a close here, but not before telling you that the Nigerian problems go beyond the PDP, APC, BBC, and what have you. It's about the Nigerian making sure and working assiduously for this country to come out of the woods, because we can. I'm out of here. On behalf of the Backroom Boys, I say thank you, keep fit, and God bless you.